You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Hit the Floor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Hit the Floor After Show.
Hey there, Buzzers. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV, your home of the most exclusive interviews in Hollywood. I'm your host, Alikona Bradford. Being is for doing it tonight, we are doing a juicy, sexy episode of Hit the Floor. So why don't I introduce our fantastic host, starting with this man to the left of me.
What's happening? It's Marky Allen.
Go. Hey, what's up? It's Laila Sadny.
And it's Nick Perdue.
And I think, guys, it said something about exclusive guests or something. I don't know. I don't know. Well, tonight we have a special treat. We don't have one, not two, but three very special guests from the show. Please welcome our very own Kat Bailess.
Hey, y'all.
Rob Riley.
Yay!
And if you guys don't know this mystery man, you should, because he is the mastermind and creator of Hit the Floor, Mr. James LaRosa.
Me like you.
I feel like
Me like you too.
introduced like a basketball game or something.
Right.
Welcome, you guys, to AfterBuzz.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Kat.
Oh my God.
What
it's
does
so
it
good
feel
to be
like?
back.
How surreal is it for you to watch yourself here in the studio that you used to host that?
I was like one of the first AfterBuzzers, literally. Like, and I was one of the first that went on camera because at first it was just, you know, the voice and everything, and then no, it's weird. It's like, oh my God, I never imagined like I would be coming to like be like a guest on my own show. Oh my God!
Circle.
Yay! And you know, it's funny. For all those people like watching or listening, whatever, I was, you know, a host of American Idol and X Factor and all this stuff with Mark. And it's like the last year when I booked the pilot, I was like, you know what, I can't come this year. I can't do it. I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, I just really need to focus on booking a job, and I did. So.
Good job.
Yay! Thanks, James.
Thank God you did.
Yeah, thank God I did.
I appreciate that.
Not that AfterBuzz, like, you know, like took away from my life, but it's a lot of work. Y'all do a lot of work here, and you have to, you know, research and watch and take notes and, you know, and all that stuff. So I just kind of had to, you know, focus on getting me a job, a job.
Well, we're glad you did, because we kind of love your character just a little bit. I mean, I know you've heard us talking about her. She was like, I mean, we had a lot going on this episode, a lot of hookups or whatever, but by far you're always the comedic relief. Do you ever read your script and just start laughing out loud?
Yeah. Oh no, it's bad. And I always like try to find him on set. I'm like, no, you didn't. Shut up. And he's like, James LaRosa is by far one of the greatest writers I've ever met in my entire life. And I'm so fortunate to be on his show, and the fact that he writes comedy for me and all the other writers. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's a blessing, because I always wanted Kevin Undergaro, which is Maria's boyfriend, was like, so what do you want to do? Like what's your dream? You know, I said, be on a TV show and be funny. And like, and I was like, and if you want to add dancing to the equation, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, speaking of the creation of the show, James, how did you go from being a writer for the Tennis Channel to all of a sudden being a writer for like this drama with dancing and basketball players and?
Well, I was actually always a TV writer, always worked in Hollywood. But I did the tennis stuff I did on the side. I don't think anyone knew when I was doing tennis that I was a writer in Hollywood, and no one in Hollywood knew I was a writer for tennis. It was like my little. I wasn't sure which one was my dirty secret, but the show actually came about as it was a bit of a brainchild of VH1 and a guy named Jeff Old, who looked at the programming that they had on VH1 that was really working. They had a scripted drama, Single Ladies, which was doing great for them. They had Basketball Wives, and they basically, Jeff went to one of the executive producers of Single Ladies, who I've worked with for more years than she'd probably want me to admit, Maggie Molina, and he said, what about basketball dancers? And so she thought, okay, a show about a bunch of women. I think I know the guy for this gig. So she called me, and I mean, just the opportunity.
Nice.
I would say that my first reaction was, I think my first reaction to the basketball dancers was probably maybe some other people's first reactions to basketball dancers, which is, okay, like, what's it gonna, like, you can kind of maybe try and predict what it's gonna be. And so what I wanted to do was actually really focus on the women as not stereotypes, not sort of the easy way to go, and really make them fun and interesting characters so that people would know what's coming. So before the show aired, I was like, okay, people are going to have preconceived ideas. They're going to, what they feel about it. Once the show airs, let's see what happened. And now the show is doing sort of well. And I like that people are kind of keying into the parts of the show that we love, which is the humor, the kind of fierceness, and the attitude, and all that.
Absolutely.
You also reference a lot of the characters' names to tennis players. Have any of them like called you and like, oh my God, I have a character named after me?
I believe they're probably by and large freaked out. I don't know. They know. They for sure know. I'll like, my favorite tennis player of all time is Lindsay Davenport, and it's Pete Davenport.
Right.
And so I told her, oh, hope you don't mind and hope it's not weird, but I had a character that I named after you, Davenport, whatever. And she's like, what is this? I don't know. Or Sloane is named after Sloane Stephens, who's still the last American in the Wimbledon draw right now.
I know, right? That's crazy.
She's off the
Poor Serena.
Well.
Sorry, she won a lot. She's
won one or two things, but I think they're probably cool with it. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, right? If someone,
that's like an honor.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
My family loves it, but I mean, these people are famous. They're probably like, thanks. I don't know.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So, and then I want to talk to you a little bit. You were cracking me up while we were watching the show. Some of your reactions.
I'm just trying to put smiles on faces, baby.
Oh my
smiles
God.
on faces.
Well, yeah, it's just funny because when we see your character, he's so serious and proper.
He's a distinguished gentleman. He's at work most of the time you see him, or at least he's in a professional setting, except when you see him with Jelena. And then it's all sexy time.
Oh, yeah. This just means he's a good actor, right?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're amazing. He is. But you unfortunately weren't in tonight's episode, so anyway.
No, I know, right? I know. So which camera do I look? I know.
Don't. We cannot fight.
No.
Okay, well, I mean, with all the hookups, you would think yours would be like one of the obvious.
Hey, listen,
Not
I've
at all.
hooked up a lot already on the show. Me and Jelena, we've established
Do you
that.
think that Jelena would allow him to hook up with anybody?
No.
She would not snip something.
Yeah,
But
probably.
what she doesn't know won't hurt her. So
What doesn't Jelena know?
Yeah, everything. She's like up in everybody's business.
Like the puppet master.
Yeah,
She's always in the window like,
No. And then tonight I was like,
Like she's
you have lipstick on your
everybody
mouth.
else is a Smurf. She's just like.
But that's why I'm like, girl, you have your own boyfriend. Like, why are you up in everybody else's mix?
I know, right? You would think she would be happy. Some people just don't like to be.
Right.
Yes.
No.
Bored.
maybe she's not satisfied. I'm just throwing that out.
Me and you got beef already. We had beef from last week's episode. We was talking about, I don't see no basketball on this show. How come I don't see no basketball? And then you went so far as to say, well, I could probably take both. This is my impression of you, by the way. I could probably take both of them at one-on-one. So, since you were so gracious as to offer that challenge, I would like you to know that me and McKinley would love to play 2-on-2 against you and whoever else you could possibly think of, provided they're not in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
We will be more than, and put it on camera, put whatever wager you want on it, whatever it is, just to let you know that we could ball. And if McKinley's not down and you can't find a friend, because I can see you kind of lonely, then it could just be me and you, one-on-one. We could play the 7, 21, whatever it takes for you to score a basket. You let me know. I got you.
I'm there. Can I come watch?
Hey, I'm just putting this out there.
Don't believe me, just watch.
They called me white chocolate in high school, though.
That had anything to do with basketball?
Everything.
Listen, I accept the challenge.
Challenge! news.
Okay. And we'll get it in.
Okay.
All right. And you may have to buy me some Jordans or something. I'm just saying.
I will buy you some protein shakes or some meals, whatever it takes.
The top scorer in the NBA is skinny just like me, so I'm just throwing that out there.
Me and Kevin Durant.
But back to the show. Honestly, I enjoy watching, Elena get down and dirty. So I just like seeing that. So,
as do I.
We should
we know you do.
Speaking of down and dirty, can we talk a little bit about what happened with Miss Olivia and her husband?
Oh my gosh, that was.
I was like, is this Cinemax?
Unexpected.
What is going on?
Dude.
Hot, and more hot.
Yeah. Yes.
But also, hello, Sloane and Dean.
Yes.
Yeah. That was hot too.
Dude.
I think theirs was a little better than Olivia's and Mr. Chase Vincent.
Well, the hair pull, and she was like, I'm like, he did not just yank her hair.
Right. The first thing he did was just walk in and pull her hair.
It's a little rape-esque. Just a little bit.
Thank God she doesn't have extensions.
Right?
Rick Fox is a ball player. I'm just saying.
He should be more concerned about things looking rapey.
Right?
He's not married to Vanessa Williams anymore, so he's. I don't know where I was going with that.
But it wasn't just. I would say, but it wasn't even just the hair pull. It was like he straight bent her over on the desk. I was like,
Listen, some people, you've got Olivia. She's very polished in life. She's never hair out of place. She's got her sometimes.
I was just
if that's your life, sometimes someone has to walk in and flip you and put you back, and that's just your thing.
Sometimes you just gotta pull somebody's hair.
I mean, we have T-shirts that say that, right?
We do now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
AfterBuzz, flip around.
Okay, but see, then we had Pete, who hooked up with Raquel
first.
Well, yeah, and then talk about. But then he's like, "Oh, I want to be the good guy." So I'm thinking he's gonna wait, put on the chastity belt a little bit, and then he turns around and goes and sleeps with freaking.
He got all turned on. So.
But he didn't go there to hook up with Sloane. He went there to go listen. I strayed out of my lane. I just need to apologize. It wasn't his fault that he was like, oh, a window needs to be boarded, and that would be like her thing.
That's a turn on.
You should get that piece of wood.
Right? You gotta know that she wasn't calling you to fix no window. Like, come on, man.
He was a victim of circumstance. Okay,
please.
It wasn't his fault. She was like, oh my God, the power's out. And it's romantic. Who can I call over?
But did she call him, or did he just show up?
I thought he just showed up.
He just showed up.
It's the Santa Ana wins, y'all.
But how come Chase's character is rapey, but Sloane pushes him against the thing, starts grabbing him, and turns him around, and that's just fine?
Well, we didn't say Sloane wasn't rapey.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure we've established the fact that Sloane was rapey.
It was lady rapey.
Lady
Different kind of rapey. That's true.
Lady rapey. Okay, then.
But I feel like her attitude. See, to me, I saw a little bit of Ahsha in her because she's so I knew she wanted Pete from the get-go. She was just trying to hold off.
She had Pete from the get-go.
But it's the same thing as how Ahsha is with Derek. Like, she's holding off, but come on now.
Well, you
kind of called it.
There is definitely a theme on this show that is sort of a little sins of the father, where it's basically you've got these sort of call them mistakes, call them youthful choices that happened back in the day, and we have sort of two generations of characters on the show. I'm not getting too deep.
No.
Where you basically have
listening.
We're like, what's going on in the show? Where you have one generation that's sort of they're dragged back into their old issues because of the next generation down, which is just making their problems for the first time, and so you're kind of now they're able to see them kind of fuck up the way. We can say F-bomb.
F-bomb came out.
So they can sort of watch these issues happen from like a different perspective. So it creates a lot more, I think, emotional torture, which is fun.
Yeah, agreed.
Just saying.
It's fun to watch.
Emotional torture.
Everybody likes emotional
So
torture.
emotionally tortured.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? We actually brought something that we're wondering if we can take out, and only with your permission, but we waited till we got on air so that we'd make you uncomfortable and have to say yes.
Okay.
We stopped by the liquor store on the way here, and we are thirsty. Are we able to?
Yes.
Is that what this?
Is that wrong?
I mean, if that's
we'll share.
right.
We'll share.
Yeah, we're gonna share.
Should I get real gangster with
it the ultimate
We thought we'd go a little ghetto, like hit the floor ghetto, and
we brought like wine coolers.
wine coolers and
What
little
you have
tiny
here
bottles of
might not be.
Chardonnay.
I just just want the one.
What happened to the Alizé and the Hennessy?
Listen, we went to the liquor bank, which was
Are you serious?
It's a plug.
You guys went to the
liquor bank. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, that's in off of Crenshaw.
We went up, no. There's one up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, his eyes are lighting up.
Yeah, it was better than this water we got.
Probably better than whatever.
Are you sure you don't want a redneck?
I believe I'm tethered.
A redneck strawberry daiquiri.
Okay. Basically, we get together on Mondays and we watch the show, and there's alcohol involved. So just to sort of sit here with water that tastes like, what'd you guys say it tasted like?
Fish and wet dog.
I'm taking Bartles and James strawberry daiquiri over fish and wet dog.
Any day.
Would you like a Sutter's Home, my darling?
We got you a Jack Daniels.
All right. Well, while they pop the bottles and get the party started over there.
My friends know me. They know me.
We love
you guys
you, Rob.
can have the Bartles and James, wine cooler with the Chardonnay. Yes. Now, if it was about 10 times this size,
I was gonna say, is that gonna do anything?
Listen, we know how you do.
Who's doing the speech, though? Who's doing the speech?
What speech?
Are we cheersing or no?
Yes, we're cheersing.
Here's to lady rape.
Here's to lady rape and strawberry daiquiri wine cooler.
Wait, hold on. Let's not let the cheers go down the list. I feel a lot of negative publicity.
Yes, that's true.
Here's to episode 6 and the Santa Ana wins for making all this shit happen.
That's right.
Amen.
To the second half of the
I
season.
said it.
Cheers.
Y'all didn't.
Cheers.
You're supposed to drink it. Okay.
All right.
That was delicious.
Well, we're going to get them nice and liquored up because we have some really talented people sitting in these seats, and later on we're going to have a little bit of a musical performance going on.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm,
We're going to do a dance routine for y'all. We'll do bits and pieces of. We need to call his publicist and ask. Oh, I have stories about that dance, too.
Let's talk about the dance. Let's do it.
The great neon dance.
That dance was insane to do. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, even the top dancers in the world, who are obviously some of the Devil Girls, they're like, this is the hardest dance I've ever done in my life. I mean, people talk about the competition days when they dance and you do every single trick under the sun in one dance. That was this dance. And we were in the dark, and we were in full clothes, which were never in full clothes. And the only reason we were, obviously, so you could see our bodies, because, I mean, all you saw on my face with my teeth. I
couldn't figure out who was who. Yeah.
I know. I mean, the only reason I know who I am is because I knew where I was sitting right by the camera. I was like, hello, camera.
I think you were pretty obvious.
Yeah, I was kind of,
You're like one of 3 that was.
One of 3 blondes. But so I'll go ahead and say, like, it kind of sucked. I actually whiplashed my neck during that dance. Well, here's the thing. We'd stop and take a break, and then we'd start again, and then we stop, and we kind of got a little cold. And I think that's what happens. We have to keep ourselves warm. But we're also, where we're filming above an hockey ice rink. So it's like ice.
There's some
then
trivia
the floor.
for you.
Yeah.
All those dances are over ice.
Yes. All the dances are over ice. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so was the basketball.
And the basketball court. Yeah.
So you're freezing.
For all those basketball
Pretty
games
much.
we get to
freezing
watch.
in there,
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying.
Keep it up.
I'm just saying. I don't even know if you can play. I'm just saying.
None of us know. Actually, none of us know.
It'll be me and Taylor versus y'all 2 if y'all keep it up.
No, I'm just but seriously, I've never even seen you guys like. What's going on? Come
Episode
on,
2.
What about the boys? What the boys want to see basketball?
They played. They played in 3. They played in.
Yeah.
I mean, scripted basketball is one thing.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
We just want to see maybe like a street ball or something like that. The guys are out, and then maybe in the backyard, shooting or whatever. Just something just for people.
Well, there's 4 episodes left.
I will say that the research that we've been getting back has been that our fans enjoy seeing our guys shirtless. Very scientific.
That's very surprising. This is a shocker.
It seems like this would probably play into that if it was just some sort of real dirty street corner.
Oh, yeah.
Skins versus skins.
I have a slight request, though. I really don't want to see any more shirtless guys.
You know what?
I thought you were going to request it.
Don't hate, because I'm enjoying
if we
it.
played, you were on the shirts team instead of the
because I don't have any. So this is, I'm good in an extra large white tee.
Why is Nick,
you today,
why
brother.
is Nick wearing a sweater?
Yeah, exactly. A parka, sweater, terrible.
Parka.
Let's talk about the ski hat and the short sleeve T-shirt.
Oops.
And just conflicting themes going on.
I like his style.
I'm not mad at it.
This is what my stylist put me in today. You know, I don't argue.
Shout out
I
to your
just
stylist.
pick up clothes.
Was it Mr. Belding? Because he just laughed.
I'm gonna lose fans now. No one's gonna come up to any comedy shows now and be like, Nick, what's going on?
No, seriously, Mr. Belding literally.
Mr. Belding's in the building.
He's in the building. Shut up. He walked out of the bathroom, and I'm like, wait, that was Mr. Belding.
But she didn't see him. She could just.
What?
She just walked out of the bathroom and she was like, that was Mr. Belding.
I'm sure.
James. James.
And that's why he wrote this show.
She's
I am not
she's a
like
big
Kyle
Saved by the
in
Bell
real life,
fan.
okay?
She knows everything about it.
So James, then why? Okay, because were you the one who had the final decision in picking who was who?
Oh God,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, so
Well, I mean,
what
the
was
network,
it about Katherine that made you fall in love with her?
I have an answer
8
to that question.
callbacks later.
Oh, the gloves are off here.
I said, dance for me. I'll tell you. Let me tell you about the audition process in general for the women because it was really brutal. We have no doubles on our show, both ballers and with dancers. Everyone you see does all their stuff. We don't suddenly sneak in some random, brunette to bust a move.
A man with a wig.
A man with a wig, or a man with a wig. And so we had women who. They would do one of two things. They'd either come in and they would be like Meryl Streep, and then you knew the dance would just be really
hot
long.
mess.
Not good.
Yes. Or they would come in and their acting would be not what you would hope for, and then you knew they'd be running up the walls and upside down. And to find actresses who could dance and really look like they fit in this world and be able to convey the character was very difficult. It was brutal. And so Kat is a very specific type. I don't think there's actually many people out there like her. I would say that she's the least like the character as written. She came in and she was Kyle, but as scripted, Kyle, she had great lines. I mean, her lines were the same as they were in the pilot, and her energy was the same. But once you add in the way that Katherine brings you into it, as opposed to here I am, I'm funny, enjoy me while I go. You really do feel like you're part of her party. And so when she came in, she was like, I love me, so you're gonna love me, and let's have some fun. And so she came in her full-on, stripper gear, and her moves were like.
No, you didn't.
Her moves were fab. Just.
I'm going to tell you one thing. He can keep on talking about me. This is great. But I kid you not, because I was like, if I'm going to get this role and I'm going to be like known as a stripper or like seen as a stripper, I have to do like stripper-esque moves. So literally, and then I have to know that I can dance because I can. I've been dancing since I was 4. So I literally did a double pirouette into the middle split, into an 8 counts, by the way. Slowly.
Nice.
In 6-inch stiletto heels and fishnets, and I looked straight at him in the face, and I was like, "That's right, I can strip." And literally,
I turned
his face
straight
was
for
like
about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
No, but maybe.
I'd have cast you too.
Yeah, but it didn't end there. Like, I mean, they little fun trivia is like I didn't go in with an accent. I can get rid of it. Don't ask me to do it right now because I hate doing it. But they were like, wait a second, where are you from? And I said, Mississippi. Why? Can y'all tell? And they go, yeah. I guess it came out a little bit. But his writing kind of like sounded Southern. And so anyway, and I'm a pretty good actress, so just kind of like felt it. And so
talk about your craft.
Yeah, and so I brought it. They said, bring it back Southern, and bring us back like a more technical dance, not so slutty and Broadway-esque. I was like, okay, great. Done and doneer, and came in the next day, and that was it. And then, yeah, that's kind of like how it happened, right? Like,
yeah, and
with
then,
the Southern
and then
accent.
I was in love, and then 8 callbacks later.
8 callbacks later.
I just need to be really sure. Listen, we had one, Taylor Page, who plays Ahsha. She was the only one that tested for the role because I absolutely loved her. She came in, and I just put a little heart next to her picture, and I was like, she's amazing. Everyone else fell away from me. She was the only one that tested, and I still made her come back like 100 times.
Yeah.
I'm very thorough.
And then Taylor and I got to do a screen test together. And Taylor's so cute. She's like sitting there. She's like, hey, I'm Taylor. I'm like, hey, I'm Kat. The other bitches were like they didn't want to talk, right? But Taylor was the only one there for Ahsha, and I was like, she's like, do you want to read it together? I was like, sure, because we were going in and doing our scene together, the Care Bear scene. And so she's like, is that okay? Do you think it's? I said, honey, you are perfect. Do not change a thing. And she's like, I love you. Oh my God, I can so see us doing this together. I'm like, I said,
awesome.
No, this is gonna happen. So we're gonna be best friends. Trust me. And then we walked out of the building, and she's like, I'm so nervous because everyone's saying I'm not a name, I'm nobody, I'm not gonna get it. And I was like, no, girl, this is yours. She's never tested before in her life. I'm like, you're the only person there. You're gonna get it.
She she didn't understand.
I had one other girl testing with me who was completely opposite than me, and I'm like, well, either they're going there or they're gonna come here, like, you know. So
I went there.
yeah. Thanks, Jen.
But now, can we talk for a second about Mr. Rob's audition?
Yes.
Please talk about this.
That was equally memorable.
Yes.
Rob's scene that he auditioned to for Terrence was the scene where, I mean, it doesn't say that Jelena was reverse cowgirl in the script, but in the pilot, they're finishing their lovemaking
So
before
hot.
their conversation started, and Rob really committed to the finishing of the lovemaking. I don't know if you want to reenact for the fine
that would
folk
be
at AfterBuzz.
wonderful.
Please do.
I think the lady fans would appreciate
First of all,
that.
I'm not reenacting anything.
He's going to do it from scratch. Ready, go.
It was in the stage directions that this act was finishing, that they were about to finish having, making love, having sex, fucking, whatever you want to call it. And I figured that if I'm going to do this scene, this is an integral part of the scene. Everybody, we're all grown folks here. I'm assuming we've all had this experience. You all know that. That when after that, that's a moment. That's a real moment, and certain things come from that moment. And there's there's some time to
just
breathe.
do the orgasm. Come on.
No, there's some time to breathe and so on and so forth. So I felt as though I was gonna give them that and then go into the scene, and apparently it worked. And that's all.
There you go.
Smooth.
So were you like booked right away?
No, we there was definitely a room response to the fact that he was
Doing
like,
that?
because it wasn't even, he hadn't even spoken yet, nothing. It was just like,
Where was I?
and we're all like,
All right.
He's a method actor.
fortunately, afterwards, he actually,
Okay, we all know all orgasms aren't created equal. So
they don't all sound like the one I just did.
some are better than others. Guys, help me out here.
That's true.
Thank you. Some of them are audible and some of them just snapping.
Some you don't say anything. Some it's all facial.
Exactly.
A kick in the
And then
leg.
sometimes you have no choice but to let out that whatever. So
Let out whatever is so much better.
yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
but sometimes it don't warrant that.
Okay, then.
That day it warranted like a foghorn, like 4 in a row.
I figured that they had a nice relationship, and that because of that, the sex was fun.
I will say though that, and the two of them definitely fall into this category. Actors that will do anything like that will say, okay, I'm supposed to just be finishing having sex, I'm going for it, or someone that comes in and just goes, what do you want me to do? I can do a high kick and touch my nose with my, like people who just go for it. Advice to actors, just do that, even if you feel like it's not gonna get you the job. People will remember the fact that you're like, you know what, fuck it, whatever, and then just do it. And the two of them are such like team players. They're so game for anything. And as writers, you go, okay, I give this one crazy shit to do, and she's like, what do I need to do? How many times do I need to do it? In what position? Okay, I'm down. And then she just kills it.
There's a funny thing about the opening scene for me and German, when I'm literally all you see is like a heart behind my head because it's my ass. I was like, wow, that shot's crazy. But he's like, okay, so you're stretching in the corner. I was like, oh, okay, James, I have a stretch. It's really cool. And like in the middle splits, and then I'm gonna slide through the middle splits and then come up like a cat. And he goes, great, she's doing that. I was like, yay! I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it's hot.
How are you gonna tell someone that can like limber through a keyhole? Like, don't do that. No.
Yeah.
It's one of the beautiful things of being on the show is that a lot of that stuff gets taken seriously. They've appreciated what we've brought as actors to the the little extra stuff, that those sprinkles or whatever it is that give the character the je ne sais quoi that Kyle obviously has.
Ooh, je ne sais quoi.
All right, so I'm kind of smart. So what? But I really just heard that on Austin Powers.
So can y'all take us through like a typical day if like someone wants to come backstage and see what's going on, like what's your week? How about that?
Bartles and James.
That's it?
Again, I come to work like this. That's why Kyle's so funny. No, a typical day on set is crazy, especially for me and Taylor and Logan. It's insane. right?
Their schedules are
it was crazy. And I like when we weren't on set, we were in the rehearsal studio with Michael Rooney, who by far is the best choreographer ever. We love him. We love all of his work. And we'd be dancing for 10 hours, or we'd go back to set. And then usually all three of us were never, ever dancing together with the other 11 girls. Like, I mean, it was tough to get us all because of the schedules and everything. And then but we always have fun on set. I mean, we are a party and we're a family, and that's what you want. And that's from the get-go. When we did the pilot, I mean, no joke. Like, we were like, I love you, no, I love you. And then for 3 months until we found out that the show got picked up, we all still hung out. Not even knowing, but we all had that feeling in our heart, like, this has to make it. Hello. And it was Bounce at the time, and now it's Hit the Flow.
Hit the Flow.
Yeah, how did that come about? The original
the name change.
We were called. Hit the Floor is the only official name we ever had. We started out as Devil Girls, and then it was Game On, and then it went to Bounce. And there's always some random reason why, whether it's someone has the copyright, or we don't want to be confused with the game, or there's so many sort of things that go into making the decision. But Hit the Floor, once we had to kind of man up and get the title, it was one that the network was completely all over. It had a lot of good sort of positive active, like, hit the floor, and we also kind of hope that that's people's jaw reaction whenever we drop one of our little our cliffhangers or our little plot twists, and
which is in every episode.
It's every 15 minutes.
Y'all are dying. Every time we'd finish a script, like when we were shooting, we only got script by script by script, and we shot 2 episodes at a time. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's gonna happen? This one wouldn't tell me nothing. Like, nothing. I'm like, wait, but I don't even know why I'm saying this sometimes. Finally, he had to tell me one episode, and it's coming up, and he's like, come here. I'm like, oh, God, am I in trouble?
Say it.
I'm not.
Okay.
Oh, God, I'll be fired,
like
for real.
State secrets.
And he told me, and I went,
she's doing a scene, and she's like, and it's totally normal, and it's totally fine. And I'm going, there's something about this scene that's not working for me, and I don't know what it... Oh, she doesn't know that's coming up. So I had to go up and be like, okay, if you tell anyone, I'll kill you, but here's something. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
And you freaked out. And then the scene went great.
And I'm like, I don't know if I was supposed to cry or laugh or scream and kick and jump. I'm like, I can't tell anybody. Nope. No.
Oh, that's not fair.
I'm
good
at magic anyway. She just carries like magic acting dust in her pocket. It's like, oh my God, brilliant.
I paid him a lot before he came here.
It happens. I'm not the only one that says that, girl. Come on.
I love you.
Hey, I call him like I said.
I think you are brilliant. You're awesome.
I mean,
we need a scene together.
But I want to know.
Yeah, we do.
So we heard a little bit. You were talking about a certain amount of money that you were working towards. I know you can't quite tell. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on exactly?
What did you think? What do y'all think?
I like your theories, by the way. I liked your that you thought cocaine was in the uniform the whole time. I was like, oh, she's not gonna like when this comes out. I liked it though. I liked it there. Anyway, sorry, not to get you off.
I don't know. Theory, I don't know. Sex slave, something. I don't know. Someone bought you.
Tax problems.
Tax
problems.
I want to know about everybody got tax problems.
If you was a black man, it'd be tax problems. Wesley Snipes, Chris Tucker, you name it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where I was like, what is this? And
I didn't tell you at that point.
He didn't tell me.
It took one more thing to happen.
Here's the deal. Like, I mean, I had my own take as an actress. I was like, okay, this is how I'm going to play it. And if it wasn't right, he would have been like, do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty big cliffhanger.
But here's the thing, though, because she comes off as she has a motive, and she's a stripper or whatever, but she's very intelligent.
Thank you.
So that's why I'm like, okay, there's a big story behind whatever it is that she's doing.
Now that we've gotten up to this point, Kyle actually has a purpose. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why is she sleeping and getting with all these men? Like, why?
Yeah.
Not because she doesn't keep any of them. She just throws them to the side. Says, bye, y'all. See you later. Call me next time.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Now, because when we see Kyle go off, we've only seen Kyle sleep with one guy, essentially.
Yeah.
So how many men has she actually slept with, or was there just like dancing involved, or was it like a full act, or was it just like, I'll dance for him a little bit and then he'll give me some money?
I'm curious your answer to this question, actually.
So,
what do you think?
What do I think? I think that the motive is money for Kyle. But she's not shy. She wears condoms.
Day-Glow condoms.
Yeah.
Not shy about those condoms at all.
She probably has her own brand of condoms. Oh shit.
So, but now, did she sleep with Oliver to get on the squad? Like what?
Oscar. No, she did not sleep with him. She did other things.
Okay. Because
that's that Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that young woman.
I
DVD extras.
Kyle bobbited.
I ain't mad at
Wait, bobbited?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what'd you do?
That is not going to get you on a team, girl.
Oh wait, no. That's the one that cut it off.
I knew what you meant, though. I knew what you meant. I went with Bobbin, and then you were. It's
No. Who
Yeah.
slept with Clinton?
Lewinsky.
Oh my
Lewinsky.
Lord.
Yeah, Lewinsky.
That's
Lewinsky.
totally different.
Yeah, I know.
It is, but I still knew where she was
this
going.
This is
You
real.
gotta work with her.
That was random. Has someone accused you of not being real?
No, blonde, being a blonde, you know. Sometimes,
God, see, now
sometimes I go Jessica Simpson, you know.
I know, right?
It's
That's
okay,
usually
don't
me
worry.
most of the time.
But here's to answer your question. I think Kyle is a very sex-positive character. So if she wants to, she will. I don't think it's that deep for her. So if there's someone, but if she doesn't, she won't. So did she screw Pavle? It's entirely possible, although he didn't really need it. He was just thrilled to have her bouncing on his lap.
He was just happy to have her around.
Right?
You fun girlfriend. Oh, honey, that's the one word in English I don't know.
That's my favorite.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask kind of like a little bit of serious-esque question.
We don't have
Put down my bottle.
You know what? It's for you,
You're going to pick yours up.
It's just for you.
Bring it, girl.
Do we have any more of these?
I'm brought.
It's already been brought.
This is my own personal
Okay,
stat.
no, but seriously, okay. So your character is obviously like this very prim and proper, or just very focused guy, right?
Focused, very
okay,
focused.
and then on the opposite end, you've got Derek, who
This
is like
motherfucker.
the ladies' man. I mean, some people, Nick Perdue, like him a lot. And, you know, and look up to him, right?
He's like a predator.
Right. And I've read that you're really big about being like a positive role model to young men. So do you feel like in television there's a lack thereof of role models teaching men how to be men?
Absolutely. I don't even think that's not even up for debate. There's a gross lack of positive role models for men. I mean, there's a gross lack of positive role models, period. You have to look really hard nowadays for young folks to find them. When you know, I mean, I'm not giving away any of our generation here, but you know, we grew up with the Cosbys and the, you know, this, that, and the third. You saw people leading successful careers and having families and such, and there just isn't a lot of that around anymore. So, you know, Terrence wasn't initially slated to be that kind of person. I didn't, you know, it developed as the season went along, but I was very, very proud and happy to play that person, to play that character, a distinguished gentleman who happens to be black, who happens to be a professional athlete, but who is, you know, faithful to his girlfriend and is about starting businesses and is done with all the drinking and whoring and fucking tooting cane and shit like that and hitting on other people's girls just because you can, because you got the money and blah, blah, blah. It's, you know, I was interviewed the other day, and somebody asked me, what would I say now to the 26-year-old version of me, or what would Terrence say to the 26-year-old version of me? And I was like, a lot of the stuff that you think is important doesn't matter, and it takes a while for you to realize that stuff doesn't matter. But I think Terrence knows that. I know it. So that you know, you look at that stuff a certain way. Like, I can't be in a nightclub for but so long now until I just want to be like, oh girl, put on some clothes. Like, oh man, you don't need to be out here like that. That's just well, good luck tomorrow. You know what I mean? Hope you got cat fare. But you know what I mean? Just that thing. It's I take pride in that. You know, who knows where things are gonna go for the next 4 episodes or season 2 or whatever. But I'm very happy that he is that Terrence is that type of man, and I get to play that and kind of give people a, you know, there's Derek, and there are a lot of Dereks out there, and it always makes the news when someone makes it rain in a strip club.
Right.
But it doesn't always make the news when Kevin Durant gives $1 million to the tornado victims of OKC. So, you know.
Okay, so question for you though, Rob.
Yeah.
And I think this is all very beautiful.
I'm listening.
Why is Terrence with Jelena? When Terrence says, you are a hard ass bitch.
Yes.
Right after they do it, and right before he says, come with me to the shower.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's wonderful that he's so positive, but I mean, we wouldn't say he's necessarily.
Well, I mean, I think Jelena is, first of all, and in Terrence's opinion, I don't think he gives a shit what Jelena does with the Devil Girls. That's not really important to him. It has nothing to do with his day-to-day. The Devil Girls are fine. That's cute. I love it. Great. I'm glad that you do that. That's, whatever you do with them is fantastic.
My little munchkin.
Yeah, that's so cute. Goddamn, that's so cute.
He just kicked your leg.
But if he's Kobe Bryant doesn't care about the Laker girls. And if he was dating one, that would be nice. And I want you to be. Of course not. But I want you to be the best Laker girl you can be, and if you're the queen of the Laker girls, that's even better. I love, and every strong man wants a strong woman, so you want a woman that can do that and hold her own in that society, or that community or whatever it is. But I don't think Terrence really cares what Jelena does unless it affects him. And if/when that happens, we shall see how he deals with it.
See, but she takes strong like a step beyond strong.
Not with him, she don't.
Yeah.
Well, no, but is he just not aware of the fact that she's manipulative towards everybody else?
If you were my girl, you can manipulate whoever you want aside from me. If you manipulate me or try to do something here, then that's a problem. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth were real tight. Don't ever forget that. You know what I mean? Lady Macbeth was terrible, but they were real tight, and she did get him what she promised. He was the king as a result. Now, did a lot of stuff fall apart as a result of that? Yes, they did. But
okay, I'm sorry, I got to cut you off. Though.
Go ahead, come on, girl.
But doesn't it it reflects what's in somebody's heart, though. If they have it in their heart to be able to do those kind of things to other people just for fun and entertainment, how does that? Why would you want to be in love with somebody like that? I
agree completely, and I think that unfortunately sometimes love blinds you so that you don't think that you're susceptible to that stuff if you see someone like that. When in actuality you are, and usually that's what happens. Is somewhere along the line that snake that you've been dating is gonna bite you because you're like, oh, but I'm snake proof. Don't worry about that.
But
next thing you know, you're dying and you don't see the 2 dots in your arm because the venom's been riding up your blood for the last 6 months, and she bit you and you didn't even know it.
But what we see though is that I think Terrence has a good hold on Jelena.
I agree.
He is her kryptonite per se.
Yes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because anytime she's with him, she becomes the weaker of the two and kind of submisses. Yeah, it's right. Yeah. To him. So I don't think Terrence has a whole lot to worry about unless she just does something crazy that now he's okay, now you're messing up my career, into where it really brings down this kingdom that they have built.
I agree completely. I think that's what it would take, because I think anything else he can handle. Yeah. As we saw in episode 5, there was the whole thing, okay, you're upset. Oh, you're so cute when you're upset. I'm annoyed. Yeah, well, it's the same look. Me, whatever. Whatever. You're annoyed with me. Get out of here. You have nothing to be annoyed about. She knows I'm not out running around with other chicks because she wouldn't stand for that.
No.
But she also knows that, she knows that he doesn't do that. So you can bump your gums, Jelena, whatever.
You make an interesting point, though. If he is her kryptonite, I think a lot of people are seeing her shenanigans going, ooh, when's she going to get hers? And I think you're also seeing a Terrence who does keep things from her. He isn't the. He spent a whole episode going, "Where were you?" and what? And he's like, "What?"
Apparently, you can't surprise bitches nowadays.
And he wasn't in this episode either. So
you can't buy a bitch a restaurant.
I would say
ungrateful.
She was pretty grateful when you said it. She got a little teary-eyed.
Right?
Finally.
Damn it, God, it was
can't surprise people anymore.
No, you really
What's
can't.
the biggest surprise you've ever done for a woman?
Don't get me started.
His is pretty damn big.
I want to know.
It was amazing. Tell him what you did.
Well,
Tell him.
I don't even know which one to start with.
The one that you recently did.
The video. Oh, well, yeah. No, that was for my girlfriend's birthday. I covered a song because I play a little guitar. So I covered a song by Tim McMorris, and it's called "Overwhelmed by You." So I covered that song, and I shot a video, and I shot a music video, and I took a sign that represented her to all the different places that we've been, where we met, different places that were special to us, and I sang the video sang along in that music video. And that was after so what I did, and I taught myself to play the keyboard a little bit because I didn't really know how to do that. So what I did was I composed that whole thing, made it a backtrack to the music video, shot the music video, took her to dinner, brought her home, showed her the music video, and then after I showed her the music video, because her mother was a classical pianist and she likes to play the piano, I gave her the keyboard that I bought to teach myself to play the keyboard with for that. So,
Wow.
Where do I find one like you?
And actually, we have the video here.
that ain't seeing the light of day, baby.
Talk about keeping secret.
Nah, but I mean, but again, on that day, I had to run around, and she knew I was doing something that was kind of covert, and but thankfully, I didn't get grief over keeping secrets as a result of that. But because apparently, keeping secrets doesn't go well with some people over here.
So, speaking of videos, we actually do have a video. It's nothing embarrassing, don't worry, but just because I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I gave them a clip of your music video because you do country music.
Oh.
So, Steven, if you could please play that video.
Roll that shit!
It might take a second to,
oh my God.
for those y'all who don't know, because she is quite talented.
Mississippi, and I think I know why.
Look how cute you are.
It's a little country.
Make this girl cry. The smell of honeysuckle as it sits on the vine in Mississippi.
Oh my God. That was a fun shoot. I shot in Vicksburg for real.
Yeah.
I went to Vicksburg, I took my whole crew there, and then I shot at the Cowboy Palace in Chatsworth, which we're not very far from.
Yeah.
And I had all these professional guy dancers dancing with me, and we learned the whole dance backwards so they could reverse the video. So it looked like there's a hat that comes up from the floor, there's popcorn that comes back in the bowl. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome.
There's some jaw-dropping going on.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
So what would you like to take your music career? I mean, I know you're really involved in acting, but is that an ultimate goal for you?
Yes. But here's the thing, you can't do everything all at once. I had to learn that a couple years ago. You got to focus. And so, I was focused on my music, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to the acting full force. And I was here at AfterBuzz, actually, hosting a lot. And then I was doing my music, and then I was like, all right, pilot season coming up, and that's what happened. And I just was like, my resume right now is in acting. I've done a lot of stuff, and I was like, I just feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to book my own show. Like, I need this, and I want it. And if my music comes in the midst of it, that's great. But but while I was shooting, there was no way I could write or record. All I could do was dance, act, eat, sleep, drink a glass of wine, and go to bed and do the whole thing over again. I mean, it was a lot. But here's the deal. I'm a performer. I've been performing since I was a kid, and that's all I love. People are like, what's your favorite? Acting, dancing, singing. I'm like, I love it all, and I just love being on a stage. Like right now, I'm doing a play. I mean, you're doing a play? In LA? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I know. I'm acting every week.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's just, and that's what I think, being a performer, and even hosting is the same thing. You're performing for people, and it's the hardest part about hosting is that you're yourself. You know what I mean? It's not like you're not playing Kyle or playing Terrence or playing Jelena.
Right.
You're yourself. So it's kind of like being a singer and writing your own songs and telling your story. Yeah. And that's why I think I got into country music, because I wanted to tell how I was feeling, and I had a bunch of breakups, a bad breakup, and I was like, yes, I'm the most brilliant writer ever.
That always makes a great country song.
Man, let me tell you, when you go through some heartbreak, you be writing.
Yeah.
Because I'm writing poems and songs and all kinds of shit.
It's the best. I mean, I just love to write. I've always loved to write, and there are some poems I've written. I'm like, God, that's a good song. But do I really want people knowing that?
Right. Oh, I got some poems that ain't never gonna see the light of day. No.
You were a pageant girl too growing up. No, I read that. Then they miswrote about
No.
you.
You were right.
Yeah.
About the Miss Mississippi pageant.
Yes.
But I was a junior dancer and a senior dancer. I was the entertainment. Again, I like to entertain. So I was 10 years old or 11, and I was like, the Miss Mississippi pageant is in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So that's where I'm from. And so I went there and watched it with my mom, and I was like, I want to be one of those girls. And it's live on television on Saturdays. There's like 4 nights of the pageant, and it's live on TV. I'm like, that's what I want to do. And she's like, okay, you can audition next year. And I did, and I wasn't the best dancer, AKA Kyle, but, because she says that in the pilot. But I was a gymnast. And I was a dancer, but my focus was gymnastics. And I went, and they're like, "Who can double?" I'm like, "Me!" And I did round up, back, handspring, back, handspring, back, handspring, back, tuck. And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "Yeah, we want her." And then my first year, I wasn't the best dancer, and it bugged me because I'm very competitive. So the next year, in between the pageants, like I literally trained so hard with different teachers and whatnot. And then I came back, and the choreographer was like, "Whoa, what happened to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a little jealous. The attention wasn't on me." So people always think I'm a pageant girl, but I never was. And they wanted me to do it, and I just I just want to be on Broadway and be an actress.
I'm still blown away that it was 4 nights of television of this.
No, there were 4 nights of the pageant, because you have the preliminaries, right? So you have, one night they do talent, swimwear, and interviews, and the 4th night it's on live television all across the southern region.
So 1 night of TV.
1 night of TV.
All right.
And one of those, talk about.
That would have been for some great stoner television, though, 4 nights of
a pageant. Oh my God.
I would just order Thai food and just be awesome.
So invested in it.
I mean, I learned a lot about pageants when I was in that. I mean, I grew up with that. But yeah, no, you would be confused because I was in it for so long. But no, I never.
She's totally lying. Pageant girl.
Kevin Undergaro.
She's got the crowns in her trunk.
Well, I was homecoming queen. So.
Oh.
I got that crown.
That's all right. I won prom king.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Hey, I love that.
I was homecoming king runner-up in college.
You were
that, baby.
runner-up.
There you go. We'll take that.
See, you said Broadway, but you were on Broadway.
Yeah.
And guess
Twice.
what? We have a picture of you, too. So if Steven could please pull that up, too.
Which show are we doing? We going Lombardi or are we going?
It's Lombardi.
Okay, cool. I can dig it.
See?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
me.
you.
I'm the black guy.
No. I thought you were the older white guy in the middle.
That's awesome, baby.
Thank you.
Give me some love. I love it.
Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, because you come from a long line of studying.
I do. I'm originally from Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York. I went to Brooklyn Technical High School where I played football. I played football since I was about 11. Went to Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where I was an accountant major at first. And inevitably went into marketing and theater. I got my bachelor's in theater from Lehigh University. Wrote a play while I was there with my mentor. Professionally produced that. Went straight into grad school. Got my master's from Ohio University. And got out of there with my master's and did a couple regional theater shows. And in 18 months, I was on Broadway for the first time in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof with James.
That's a huge honor, by the way, to be on Broadway.
With James Earl Jones and Felicia Rashad, and I understudied Terrence Howard and got a chance to play Brick, the main role in the show, for about 23 performances.
Wow.
Anika Noni Rose was in there.
I
Giancarlo
worked with her.
Esposito was in there. Yeah, you did. And
sorry, that was loud.
in the the Justin Kelly thing,
Justin
right?
Kelly, yeah.
And after that, I did a little off-Broadway. I did off-Broadway with Jane Alexander, who was in Great White Hope with James Earl Jones, a little 6 Degrees of Separation there. And then I did Lombardi. I actually moved out here, did some television commercials and stuff, and then moved back home for Lombardi and did that for a year. And then did some movies and some voiceovers. And
aren't plays the best?
Oh, I love me.
Broadway's
some plays.
So cool. I did Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I like that show.
Isn't it
fun?
It's a fun
show.
Go Joseph, you know what they say.
Both of my stints on Broadway were straight plays. They weren't musicals, although I do sing.
Why they gotta be straight plays?
Yeah, why they gotta be straight plays?
Hey, there's no such thing as a gay play. This is what we call straight plays versus musicals. God damn it.
What's wrong with musicals?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
It's not the point.
Look at Rob showing
I will
his
kick
ass.
over your head.
I will call the theater community in New York right now to explain this to you.
They're all gay. They're not going to answer.
I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, he got here.
I know what I'm talking about.
King of Twitter.
But yeah, so I did, Lombardi on Broadway was a great experience. We had Judith Light was in our show. She just won back-to-back Tony Awards. She was nominated for our show when she for a Tony when she was played Maria Lombardi, and Dan Lauria, who is Sullivan and Sullivan and Son on TBS going into their second season. So we had some good folks. I've been around some good people.
I'm sure you learned a lot.
I learned a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
My first time on Broadway, I like to say, was a dream come true that I never had, because I didn't do musical theater as much. So it wasn't like, I'm going to get on Broadway, because you think of Broadway, you think of musicals. Most people now are like, oh, you on Broadway? Oh, so you sing and dance? And I'm like, I do, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like, I was in 2 plays. Get over it. But no, you're right. I learned a hell of a lot. James Earl Jones is like the grandfather.
That voice.
Yeah.
That deep voice.
Man, I mean, it really does sound like that too.
I know.
The best part of my favorite James Earl Jones story, I'm like, it's the second day of rehearsal, and one of my friends is in the building above me and rehearsing some other play, and he happens to come down and he wants my attention. So James is in the hallway, and I'm rehearsing my little scene with my understudy, and I hear this voice go, Rob. And I was like, who is talking?
Which commercial is this?
I'm like, who is exactly? Excuse me, Rob. Yes. A young man is outside to see you. Okay. So I get up, I go outside. I hadn't seen my buddy in like 2 years. We had done my first show out of grad school. I'd done with him, and without skipping a beat, I didn't say hello. I didn't say anything. I jumped up and down like an 8-year-old girl and was like, James Earl Jones just said my name. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can believe that one.
But James was great. And when I got
toe touch.
Exactly. When I got the chance to do the show with him, he was so complimentary and helpful and insightful. It was a blessing. So I've been kind of lucky. My hard work got me there.
So can you, speaking of play, showcase a little bit of your talent? There's an instrument that Mark brought for you.
Well, I play a couple instruments. I might have to take off my headset to play this just so that I can hear properly. But I do play the djembe. This goes out to my boy Dave Bunch, who was my roommate in grad school, who was an excellent percussionist. But I guess I'll play a little something here.
All right. Private performance.
Keep one on just because just so they can hear it with that microphone. That'll be like the one.
Oh, okay. This will be the one that.
Does that work?
All right.
Your headset fell off.
Right. Well, the last time, remember at the parlor with Bernie and them?
Oh yeah.
I was drumming so hard I had like blood blisters on my hands. We were rocking that. It was fun. It was fun. Listen, you like the music. Don't hate.
Don't hate. Appreciate it. Oh my God.
So yeah, a little bit.
Y'all, I have a funny story to tell. I told James I'd tell this to y'all because yesterday I had an interview on the phone, and this lady is from New York, and she's writing an article, and she's like, first of all, before we even start, my 5-year-old son. Sorry, what? 5-year-old son is obsessed with Hit the Floor, and he's obsessed with your character.
What?
Hashtag bad parenting.
She said, he literally points you out and says, "Mommy, rewind. I want to see her again." I mean, y'all, 5. Wow. I'm like, I am just touching everybody's heart.
Getting them young.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna be working on Broadway.
Do what?
I'm gonna guess he's gonna be working on Broadway. A 5-year-old boy that's like, I like her.
Buddy.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. Speaking of role models, though, like, it's weird. Like, I get tweets and stuff all the time from all these people, like, you're my favorite. I'd love to hang out with you. You're my role model. I'm like, whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool on James's part.
But why wouldn't you? I mean...
No, it's cool. It's just...
I mean, I know why.
Well, no, who Kyle is, she's an awesome girl, but, like, it's like, wow, like, talk about, you know, being ironic. She's a stripper. She sleeps a lot around, but yet people want to hang out with her. She's cool. Like, she knows who she is. I guess that's why I was
She's real.
She's real. She's real, yeah.
She's also real.
Gives good
honest.
Yeah.
She doesn't, I mean...
After tonight's episode,
right.
Oh,
telling his life.
I hashtag therapist. I was like, you know, tweeting through the show, you know, and I was like, hashtag therapist to German.
Right. Just gave him a free reading.
I became like, you know, Dr. Phil.
Free reading.
Yeah. Dr. Phil.
German
don't
need
you
to
need
take
that person in your life
back.
who's like, listen, you're fucking ridiculous, and here's why.
Yeah,
and no one will tell you this, but I will, and you are healed.
Well,
like, that's
Trust
Kyle.
me, that was such a fun day. That took all day. All those scenes we did back to back. We were the only two working that day, which that's hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's like dancing. You're physically, you're mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
And but we had such a great time. Me and Jonathan McDaniel, who plays German, he is a doll. And I thought our chemistry was pretty cool. Like,
What are you saying?
I don't know. I'm saying that maybe you should now let us hook up.
I
And
would
not.
say that.
I thought that was gonna happen.
Sounds like she's putting a bid in.
Yeah.
You did think it?
Absolutely. I did too.
For her, for your character was like the only one that didn't hook up. Ironically, in this entire episode.
That's the ironic thing about it.
Sister Mary Kyle.
And then I get fired in the preview. What's up with that?
I wanted you to hook up with him just because you actually appreciated the fucking bracelet.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, let's talk about that though. Okay, so because we're gonna run out of time pretty soon, but I definitely want to get to news and gossip and all that other good stuff. So let's just do it right away.
All right.
AfterBuzz TV News.
I mean, if y'all have anything juicy, please feel free to bring it. News. Let's see. I mean, I want to know a little bit about your alter ego.
Whose alter ego?
Yours, because I read about one.
My alter ego?
Is his name Wolverine?
Oh!
Whoa! Hold on.
Caught him on the clock.
Apparently.
Is awesome.
Well, you know what? When I was in high school, all of my fellow teammates, we chose comic book characters that we, likened ourselves to, and Wolverine was mine. I was a big fan of his attitude, and he does what he wants to do and goes where he wants to go. So that's my alter ego. Is hashtag IDGAF. If for those who knows what that means, you can figure it out.
I don't give up. That's
Okay. Got it.
Alter ego. In real life, I have no choice but to give quite a couple fucks.
All right. So if you guys have anything good and juicy that you can share with us, we'd love to hear about it.
James.
Could you be more specific? There's a lot that happens behind the scenes on this show.
there is.
I mean, because as a fan, I would want to know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't want to put you there.
Is anybody hooking up? Is that what you want to know? Is that what you want to know? After this episode, maybe. Okay. We have 14 hot dancers, and then we've got like all these hot guys. Everybody behind the scenes are hot. Like, I mean. Yeah.
Super hot.
But we still can't tell you.
And there's like a day a week where we all just like throw our keys in a bowl and just kind of go to town. There's a lot of good-looking people on this show, and sometimes it's long hours.
Yeah.
We're about to make out, aren't we?
Yeah,
Y'all are fucking up people's lives right now.
So then, give me some of your predictions, guys. How about you guys go first?
Why are you looking at me like this?
Because you always have something to say.
I love your guys' predictions, by the way.
Okay. Really quickly, because we kind of saw some things, in this trailer. So apparently, Kyle gets fired, and is it a sex tape with Akon? I don't know, but they're looking at some type of video, and Akon. We remember last show, that she did take a liking to Akon because his diamonds were real, and he does have a diamond mine in Africa. Which
yes,
is
he does. Yes, he does.
Hashtag real talk.
So
I did my research.
That's a very good thing because there's nothing like chocolate meat. I'm just throwing that out there. Secondly, with this whole Ahsha and Derek situation, because we saw at the end of the episode that her and German laying in bed was very awkward. So it was very cold in there, and so she may need a warm place. to warm up in Derek's big house. So again, I'm throwing that out there. Sloan and Pete, they're just getting it on now like rabbits, which is great. And let's wrap it up with Jelena and Terrence again. I don't know if Terrence is giving her everything that she needs. So
I think that's a personal thing. Good thing I'm not Terrence.
She may stray to German is looking, because they had a little moment on the pier there.
Can we just talk about the biggest thing that happened tonight? Yeah. The big N-word, Mia. She finally appeared.
Mia. Oh, man.
And then so last but not least, Mia and Logan, or no, Mia and Jelena are going to fight. Like, there's going to be a fight. I talked about it last week. Yeah. So the girl fight is going to be between Mia and
you said the video or bad video?
Bad. It's going to be bad.
Bad.
It's going to be bad.
I want you guys to know that if there's ever a moment where two characters have to have a dance-off to resolve something, our show is shit done.
Hey, this is called the catwalk right here, named after a cat. This little catwalk going on.
Oh, it is named after me. That's so sweet. So I used to dance a lot here, like just random, I don't know. And then all of a sudden we get all these viewers, because it was like people would just be listening on the iPod. They're like, whoa, wait, I gotta see what these crazy lunatics are doing on AfterBuzz TV. Mm-hmm. I always used to like sing a song, like make up a song every single show.
Sounds
I don't know if y'all knew this. Did you know that?
For the American Idol, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So okay, this is really quick. So I was like, why don't we just want to come and talk about the recap? Because you have to watch Tuesday and Wednesday of American Idol. And I was like, I'm gonna make up a song about the recap and make every single person at the panel sing it with me. And I played my guitar and I wrote a song every single week. It was so fun. It was a lot of work, but it was so fun and worth it. And I think that my co-host got a really big kick out of it. I don't know. Do people still do that? Like, I kind of started a trend.
Yeah, I always had like for X Factor and American Idol, we always had an intro song and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
We make it happen.
Yay.
Pass on the torch.
So inspired.
Yay. Mark's so cute.
I have a prediction.
Let's hear it.
Are we on to predictions?
Yes.
And I have it on good authority.
Okay.
That the next 4 episodes are going to be insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's basically, we saw the season and we saw that like once we hit 5, we've gotten into our rhythm. 6 was going to be bonkers, and it was just going to be roller coaster from here on. So.
So you heard it from the creator's mouth. It's about to get juicy, guys. So definitely stay tuned. Before we leave, we all want to leave our Twitter channels so that way everybody can continue the conversation. Let's start with you, Laila.
Hey guys, follow me on Twitter. It's Laila627.
Find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue.
You can find me, Mark E. Allen.
And you can find me at Kiss My Passport.
At Rob Riley NYC.
At Kat Bailess. With a K.
At James LaRosa with a J.
With a J. I love you.
And thank y'all so much for coming out and talking and sharing all your insight with us. We really appreciate you.
Thank y'all so much for having
#
us.
stay tuned.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.